Africa Investor Today is proudly brought to you in association with Petro SA and Afrexim Bank.
Welcome to Africa Investor Today. I'm Zylan. We start today's bulletin with news on politics and economy. Kenya needs a new constitution together with electoral, police and judicial reforms within the next 18 months, former United Nations leader Kofi Annan, who negotiated an end to political violence in the East African nation last year, said yesterday in an emailed statement. The measures will help prevent a recurrence of the crisis and violence experienced after the 2007 elections, Annan said. Pope Benedict has opened a 3-week gathering of African bishops with a mass in St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. The Synod on Africa is aimed at discussing the continent's social and economic problems. The Catholic Church is growing faster in Africa than in any other part of the world, nearly trebling in size to 150 million followers over 30 years. It will be the second Synod of Bishops organized at the Vatican to be devoted specifically to the problems of Africa. Stay with us, we'll be back after the break.
Redefining energy means redefining life. At the Petroleum, Oil and Gas Corporation of South Africa, our commitment to greater innovation and greener fuels has made us pioneers in the field of gas-to-liquids technology. It has also earned us worldwide recognition for producing the cleanest fuels through environmentally friendly processes. That's how we've become the international leader in diesel technology. Through pure innovation, pure energy, pure brilliance.
In companies and markets now, SAB Miller, the world's second biggest brewer, would be able to use its stronger balance sheet to outbid Dutch rival Heineken in any showdown for the beer assets of Mexico's Fomento Económico Mexicano, analysts said on Friday. London-based SAB Miller had more financing options available than Heineken because of its lower debt levels after sitting out last year's wave of consolidation. While SAB Miller could conceivably fund an acquisition worth up to $9 billion through debt alone, Heineken would be forced to issue new shares that might jeopardize its family-controlled structure, UBS said. Zain, Kuwait's biggest phone company, has halted talks to sell its African operations in response to a request by an Indian-Malaysian group planning to buy a 46% stake in the company, Al Watan reported. The buyer said Zain's African assets are an investment goal in the acquisition and the company. Zain is in talks with 3 international telecommunications companies over the sale of its African operations, CEO Saad Al-Barak said. We'll be back with banking and finance news after the break.
Afrexim Bank is Africa's leading trade finance bank, an organization dedicated to promoting African trade through credit, risk-bearing and advisory services. We pride ourselves on having local presence throughout the continent and are committed to extending our award-winning trade and project finance programs to unlock private sector development continent-wide. We invite you to become a part of our vision for a strong Africa in a changing world. If you trade within Africa, contact us to support you.
To banking and finance news now. Increasing integration of Africa's economy into that of the world and competition for resources to spur growth is pushing African central banks towards an involuntary policy convergence seen mainly in an emerging pattern of identical monetary policies. Economic analysts say as pressure piles on African governments to improve living conditions of their poor populations, central banks are becoming key focus points for formulating strategies that can boost domestic investment and at the same time pull foreign investors' inflows. Relief and excitement pervaded the finance sector at the conclusion of the bank's audit recently carried out by the Central Bank of Nigeria, even as the fate of the 3 chief executives of banks sacked weekend remains uncertain. The excitement is born out of the expectation that with the air of uncertainty now cleared, the credit crunch in the financial system would now ease. Bismarck Rawani, MD of Financial Derivatives, told Business Day that as things are now, they could only get better. We'll be back after the short break. Stay with us.
Africa Investor, the leading African investment magazine, is essential reading for investors in Africa, filled with the very latest in Pan-African investment and finance news. In addition, log on to africa-investor.com to find out more about our exciting capital market infrastructure and tourism events, and our long-standing investable Africa Investor 100 Index series, which tracks over $600 billion of African equities. Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.
In infrastructure news today, Mozambique plans to build a $500 million railway line by 2015 to ship coal from its Moatize mines to the deepwater port of Natal, a government minister said on Sunday. Transport and Communications Minister Paulo Zitkula said the new railway line, which may cut through the southern part of Malawi, would help establish a new link to the northern part of Natal, seen as an opportune. Optimum. Opportune. I was going to say opportune. Optimum. Sorry. In infrastructure news today, Mozambique plans to build a $500 million railway line by 2015 to ship coal from its Moatize mines to the deepwater port of Natal, a government minister said on Sunday. Transport and Communications Minister Paulo Zitkula said the new railway line, which may cut through the southern part of Malawi, would help establish a new link to the northern part of Natal, seen as an optimum location from which to ship coal. Oando PLC, Nigeria's top integrated energy solutions provider, has won a $1 billion strategic partnership contract with the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation to develop assets and infrastructure to harness the gas that will be produced from the fledgling offshore Jubilee oil field. A statement made available to The Guardian at the weekend said the oil field is rated as West Africa's current largest offshore deepwater discovery in over a decade, with proven reserves in excess of 300 million barrels of recoverable oil and a potential for 1.8 billion barrels. With that, we come to the end of today's bulletin. For this and other news, visit our website at www.africa-investor.com. I'm Zylan. Bye for now.
Africa Investor Today is proudly brought to you in association with Petro SA and Africa Bank.